In today's video, we are solving the problem of not enough journaling space. Because I love to decorate my pages, and sometimes we end up with less journaling space. So we have the flip-flop, and that's what we'll be doing today. Stay tuned. Hi everybody, it's Julie and welcome to today's video. We are going to work on flip-flops. So we are adding this to our November Favorite Things Junk Journal Challenge. Flip-flops are one of my favorite ways to add more journaling space or space to document into my journals. So to start off with, I have this 6x12 page from my paper pad. It's one of my 15 chosen items. I'm going to take one of the pages I've already made, and I'm going to use that to measure. So I'm just going to do the put it down, use your thumbnail to mark it. And there you go. So we're going to go ahead and use that mark to go ahead and fold my paper over. Okay, and this is going to give me my little flap. Okay, so my flip-flop flap. I don't need that big of a piece. So this one will come back in, and let's go ahead and fold that. Okay, so that will be, this will be the center where the page gets bound into the journal. And, well, it would be, how do we lose, there it is. We didn't lose it. It's just hiding. Okay, so let's go ahead and I am going to measure this out to, see, 2.5 is too, the flap would be too small. I'm going to go 1 3/4. That will give me a 1 3/4 inch tag. That's actually too small. So we'll go back. Okay. Kind of looking at two things here. This is going to give me a 2-inch tag. I like that. And I have a 2-inch, a little bit more than 2-inch flap. Okay, so I'm going to put my tag in my pile over here of things to use. And here is my flap. Okay. And so there's my flap. And I have cut out some papers up here. That was a scrap. That are 6x6, okay? To use for adding into the journal. And also, I thought I could use these as my flip-flops. So the first thing I'm going to do is fold my paper in half. Look at it in here. Okay, I am going to want to cut a little bit off. So for this first one, we'll make a single flip-flop. Okay, a single flip-flop. Okay, so that's going to go ahead. It's going to sit in there. And we are going to come out, open our paper, and then we're going to fold just between 1/4 and 1/2 inch further beyond our first fold. Okay, so that's going to give us that little guttery edge. Okay, now for this one, now we're going to go ahead, fold it back to its original state. I'm going to turn this over, and I'm going to glue that right there, onto here. Okay, so we'll take our little dilly bobber. So I decorate my journals I mean, I really decorate them with lots and lots of pretty things. And I discovered that I needed a way to add more journaling space. So what I came up with is this flip-flop. And you see, by adding that, I've added in 4 pages, and all that we've lost is just that little area. And even at that, if you use that area when you're writing on this part, you don't even lose that. Okay, so that is a flip-flop. Now, to decorate it, I usually like to do something to the edge. If it's if it's sticking out a little bit, and washi tape is always a great addition, always a good idea. So there, I can just go ahead and add that. Okay, and that gives me another set of pages for my journal. And you can also go ahead and add something to the flap here on the edge. And I think it might be kind of fun to go ahead and use one of our cute little the kids, I think. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add glue here, and then we're going to come back and we're going to have to add something onto this. Let's go ahead and do that first. So we'll use one of these pieces that are just hanging around down here. We'll add glue to half of this. And go ahead and put this down. Okay, and then I'm going to fold this over so I don't end up cutting that. And just carefully, wow, we got a lot of stuff on the resist the sticky scissors are holding a lot of stuff. Messy desk, messy scissors. Okay, and then we'll pull this stuff up so we don't accidentally cut it. And go ahead and trim that down. And trim that down. Okay. Okay, so for our flip-flop, we've added one item here. We're adding a second item here. Yes, you can use your stack of stickers. The whole thing counts as one item. Okay, your stack of sticker counts as one item. So that'll give us 2 items that we'll use. Remember, you need to add 3 items to each of your elements. Okay, so right at so we'll go ahead and add that. It is a wet glue, so you have to tell it where to go and hang out there while you're waiting for it to stay. Okay, so there's that. If I fluff this bow a little bit, it won't get smushed as much. Okay, remember, fluffing your bows are really important. So there's one thing added. We added washi, and then we'll add something to another one of these pages. Let's get into our items here. Yeah, let's add the season's greetings. This is from one of the ephemera pages from the Santa and Mrs. Claus digital. One of my favorite things. I collect Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus sets. I have over 500. It's actually more like an obsession than a collection, but it's hard to find them, okay? This year I have only found two, I think, two sets, one at Dollar Tree and the one at Target, and I had lost track of time and I couldn't wait in the line. I had to put it back. So hopefully they'll still have it. It's their 2020 Nutcracker set. Those are the only ones I've found so far. Dollar Tree, they were part of the little village. Okay, so that gives me 3 items that we've done to that flip-flop. And there's flip-flop number 1. Okay, so there is a single flip-flop. Now we have our little reindeer, and we can go ahead, use our little template again. Okay, come over, use our thumbnail to mark it. And we'll go ahead and we have this adorable reindeer paper for this time. Okay, and for this one, I think we're going to go ahead, we'll cut it right down. So sometimes I go by measurement, sometimes I go by where the deer are, okay, so, or whatever is going to be in it. So I think we'll come up here and we'll have that little tag for our journal. And we have another flip-flop. Okay, so here's our little flip-flop flap. This time we're going to do a double flip-flop. So that is 2 pages. Okay. And so again, we're going to go ahead and both of them at the same time. We're going to fold them. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead, fold, get that little gutter that's between 1/4 and 1/2 of an inch. Okay, so we have our gutter. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our glue along here. And this time we're going to put this in, so we folded it back so we're even on this edge. We're going to fold this in and we're going to attach the glued edge. Oh, let's cut a little off. Okay, we're going to attach our glued edge to the flip-flop flap. Okay, so we'll just put that in there, put it down, and hold it. Okay, so now remember we've only glued one of the 2 pages in here. But what's going to happen is that is going to give us what we call the original flip-flop. Okay, so now we're going to take our second page and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go ahead and glue that, put our glue on it. We're going to put that one in, and it's going to attach itself to the front one. So when we open this, the pages come over. And that's where the flip-flop got its name, okay? Because when the very first one I made, I attached it to the flip-flop flap and it flipped, okay? So what that gives us is room to write a whole story. Well, okay, so there's that. There's that. Then you have your gutter. You have this page, and you have this page, okay? And that's all sitting on your flip-flop flap, okay? So that is a double flip-flop. We have this adorable reindeer here. Now, I am going to do things very similar, sort of. Okay, I am going to go ahead and add the washi tape here just because I think it really does. I like the look that you get with that. I was checking to see if I can add that holly stencil to my my 15, and I can add it. Yay! So I end up with an extra little piece of this, so I'm just going to put it on a page, okay? Just because we don't want to waste anything. Okay, so there's that. So our little holly stencil that we used yesterday is going to become part of, not the ribbon, not the bow, I like that one too, but we want the holly. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put the holly right here. We are going to go ahead and tape it down with the washi tape. Okay, because we know that that really helps to keep the area around the stencil clean, and it just looks so much nicer when you don't have stuff going over the edge. And it's hard not to have stuff going over the edge. So here we go. And I'll be able to go through the journal and use this. And we have decided that ink is one of my 15. So let's grab my list here. I am using ink and holly stencil. I've been able to use some of the items that I was going to use in my journal in the mini challenge and the challenges. So I still have stuff I can use, because those cards, the cute little deer and the Santa card, that was something I was going to use. Of course, the digital, but I used a Dear Julie Julie digital, so that it does not count against your 15. Okay, so yesterday we did the mini challenge and the challenge, and one of the items that you need to use in your mini challenge is a stencil. And here I'm using an embossing stencil, and it is metal. So, but you can also use it as a regular stencil. Oh, I wonder if we can keep this all together. Stick it right over there. Okay, so look at how pretty is that. Okay, so we need to add a third thing here. And I was looking, and I have this, no, not that. I had a piece of packaging left. Oh, you know what? We have this joy. Will it fit? Nope. Darn. That would have been cute, but I don't want to waste it. Okay, we have, you're too tall. There we go. This is from one of the digitals. Okay, let's go ahead and mark it. Okay, so we're going to make a little pocket down here. We don't have to put anything in it. It can just be a collage decoration down here. Oh, but I don't want to lose. They're all so cute. I don't want to lose any of them. So we'll save this for later. We could cover him, the back, but I don't want to cover that cute little deer. I just don't. Does anybody ever find themselves in a predicament? Okay, I know what we'll do. We need one more thing added, and I think we'll go ahead and we'll add some Rapunzel hair. It's cold here today, you guys. I have on the jacket, actually. Fleece jacket. I got some fleece lined leggings from Walmart, from the Walmart yesterday. So I like the leggings because I like the bottoms of my pants to be not have a place for if I go out to if I go out to look for a piece of wood or something. I don't want anything crawling up my legs. So, yeah. Tom thinks it's funny, but that's how I choose my attire for being around the house, is that if I go to the wood pile or I go to one of the other sheds, I don't want anything crawling. Okay, so we have that. Let's go ahead and we'll just add one of the little flowers that we've been doing. This is using a punch. Remember, we're able to use all of our tools, and I am encouraging you to use all your tools in this challenge. Okay, so we've got a red flower. Oh, we're getting to the end of the green. Okay, so this is our green holly. And again, using the scraps to do this. So let's go ahead. We're going to add a little bit of glue here. So what I did was usually we would be doing the dollar store junk journal challenge this month. We still have several people that are not able to go out, and so rather than do that, we did the favorite 15. So you're taking your favorite 15 items from your stash and making this journal that has my favorite 15 elements in it. Okay, so my favorite 15 junk journal elements. Well, what happened was then your favorite 15 items might not make my 15 things. So we added a bunch of what we called free items that you're able to use. Okay, so I did add bling to my list. So this is my bling that I'm going to be using. So I am going to go back and bling out all my little poinsettias. Okay, so all my little poinsettias are going to get their bling. They've been getting fingernail polished. So here we'll just go ahead and add this. And we will polish the leaf here. That'll give it some sparkle, and I am going to go ahead and polish these leaves and let them dry. So this is the fingernail polish number 544 from Dollar Tree, one of my very favorite things. Okay, so even on the stencil, but doesn't that stencil just really add to that page? Oh my gosh. And here you have it. This is an original flip-flop right there. Okay, so we'll go ahead, set this aside, let it dry. And then for our next flip-flop, we are going to use we have this one that we've already got ready, and that could have a flip-flop right there, and it was actually made to have a flip-flop. So we will do this, and then we'll continue. We'll add 3 more things to this. Oh, you know what? Wait a minute. We do have another page. I was like, I don't think I have any more papers, but we do. We have this one. Okay, so this one, we are going to need a flip-flop flap. There's our flip-flop flap. And this is going to need to get added to a page, but this your flip-flop flap can also okay, so let's go ahead, and this is where we will add this to another page in the journal. Okay, so you'll see that happen. Okay, so here's our flip-flop flap. And then remember, we have our joy and we have doilies. So similar to what we did with Mrs. Claus there. Okay, as long as we come all the way over, then we can have our joy. Okay, so let's go ahead, grab our paper. We'll fold it. This is also a great way to add in something when you don't want to lose an image. It can be the center part of the flip-flop, so it can be on here. You'll just have that area. Okay, let's go ahead and cut this down. And so just like we did before, we folded it in half. We made our gutter. We cut the little piece off so it won't be sticking out further than this is actually cardstock that I'm using this time. This time we're going to go ahead and put it down in the crease. Okay. And pull out our book for our doily. I forgot to see if they had any of these glue sticks when I was at Dollar Tree. Okay, that was a lot of glue on that page. And I'm not saving those right now. Possibly after I get my craft room redecorated, redone. Okay, I'm going to put this down just so that if there's glue, it doesn't go onto the flip-flop. Okay, so we're going to put that down and we'll pull that. Let's see if we can pull the glue off of, if there's any glue on there. And there is. Okay. Just waiting for this to dry a little bit and it will start balling up. We'll be able to get it. Get the glue off. If anybody remembers where I put that cool little glue thing that we got at the Dollar Tree, that would be cool because it does work. It just pulls, it erases, it's a glue eraser. Okay, but you see I'm not going to edit this out. I'm going to show you that you can go ahead and clean up that glue. Okay, there we go, cleaned it up. So just as it starts to dry, you can go ahead and clean that up. Okay, so there we go, and I want to add our joy here. So I'm going to add glue to this side. Okay, so it will be glued down. I'm going to try and center it in the doily, and then I'm going to also use the stapler. Again, a tool. And I'm going to do 2 staples with my golden staples. Well, until we run out. I had picked up these staples at Staples. And I'm gonna have to figure out where they are. the replacements. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. Come over to this side. I found them. Right where they're supposed to be. Anybody else do that? I thought they were here. Okay, so and yes, I got them on clearance. But they might, you know, another, because they do switch out their fancy branded stuff, and so they might have, you know, their Martha Stewart might have gold staples. I just watch all the time, and for any kind of store that I'm at, I will watch for supplies that I would want to use in my paper crafting or in my DIY. And there we go. The messy desk and things fly all over the place. Okay, so adding our washi tape, and so technically that could be our 3 things. Could add the holly over there. So one of the other things that has been running around here, okay, don't like that. But this could go here and become a belly band, and I like that idea because then this will have gotten used. Okay, so this is from a guest check, the bottom of a guest check. And we have made some tags and things that are going to fit in this journal, so I think that'll be good. Okay, so there's our flip-flop, our 3rd flip-flop. And so this one we made a little flap on our flap. We added to our flap, and just like we added to our flap here, okay, we added to our flap here. And you know what, I am going to add a Rapunzel hair messy string. Oh, we didn't go around. I went around the 4 fingers, forgot to go around the 3. The 3 and the 4, that gives you the variety to make your bow not just have pieces hanging out. It just, okay, so this is double-sided tape that I'm using here, and I think we ended up with a washi, made itself in there as well, because you know we are the messy desk. And there you go. Okay, then we want to fluff our bow. I'm going to add it to the top. We're going to add some glue here also. And a little poinsettia flower. out of the green pieces for holly. So we can come to this. This is the piece left from pulling out the cards and stencils. And I used those in the favorite things kits that I made for the Etsy shop. There's still a couple of Santa kits. So the little box that's filled with vintage and other ephemera. And it's in a box like what I'm using for the cover of this journal. Okay, there we go. There we go. So this little poinsettia is kind of something that I'm using throughout this journal. The little poinsettia with the holly leaves. And now we are adding bling because I had enough spots in my 15 to add the bling. Okay, so there's our 3 flip-flops. Our other one is over here drying. Should be done. Okay, our 3 flip-flops. Which one's your favorite? I think I like the I love the holly. I mean, I think this one needs holly, so I may add the holly to these other 2. And I like that look. What do you think? Should we add the holly to those others? And so, do you love the flip-flop? Do you use them? Besides when it is part of a challenge. I use them. And again, I use them because I decorate things so much. And I like things decorated so much. I like having the extra journaling space. I like them for lists as well. They make a good size for lists. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I will put the December daily playlist. So if you've ever thought about doing a December daily where you're documenting your days of December, I'm going to put the playlist that I have for that right up here. It's going to have embellishments. It's also going to show you my December dailies. I've been doing December daily for, at least 8 years, maybe more. And then I will put a flip-flop video right over here. And of course, YouTube's going to put the video that they think that you're going to want to watch right there. Remember that when you go watch a video after you've watched one, that tells YouTube that the artist that you watched or the video that you watched, that they kept you on YouTube. And it really does help the channel, as well as commenting, liking, and all of that. So please do that, and make sure you like this if you did, and have an amazing day. Find something to celebrate every day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye.